everybody, and welcome to the FGs and Threes podcast number 6. We have no football news this week. There's like nothing going on, so
Unless
we're
you
going
wanna
right back
talk
to
about
basketball,
Deshaun. We
like
could
we
talk
did
about Deshaun
last
Watson.
episode. We're going over to the Eastern Conference. We're going to give them a little love.
I think
I'm
we should
Jaden
talk
Rogers.
about-
Hey.
With
The
me, as
only
always,
football
is
to
Ryan
talk about-
Martell and Alex Martell.
Why are you so annoyed?
Yeah, why are you very angry? He's
Just
so
trying to
angry.
continue.
Deshaun
Get to
Watson.
the intro.
Let's go.
I guess the only football news we got is Cloudy's visiting with the Browns. So
Really?
And they
He's
also
got
had
big
James
deal.
Conner visiting with the Cards
That's another big deal.
today. So that's
You know, the
basically it for football news. There's
Cardinals
not
that's
too much
about
here.
it.
Yeah, I mean the Cardinals.
I feel like the next time we talk football, we can have like a big mock draft special or something. But
Probably.
Yeah, it'll be next time we have football.
Well,
we're
of
gonna
course
put
we'll
as
talk.
much news as we possibly can in there. As much stuff that happened.
Right.
Cram it all into one episode.
All right. So what? Top 4 teams in the East. Last time we did top 4 teams in the West. I said we had the Lakers, Clippers, Suns, and Nuggets. Jazz weren't in my top 4. What did you guys have again? Just to refresh the memories.
Oh God, I
Yeah,
think I had the
Lakers,
Clippers, the Jazz, the Suns, and the Nuggets. I think
So you didn't have the Lakers.
I had
at the current state now, especially with
Yeah,
AD
and
and
I
Brown out for the
had-
next couple of weeks. But
I said for the
Might change.
playoffs it's going to be Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, and Jazz.
Yeah. So So now we're moving to Eastern Conference. Where does everyone and we could do an order, we could just do top 4. Where is everyone thinking the top 4 teams in the East are? What's the second round gonna look
Well,
like?
Number
this
one,
is
the
what I'm
Knicks.
going to say for at least the top 2. I think the top 2 consensus East teams, and you guys can tell me if I'm
I
wrong.
think I already know what you're going. Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets and the
Yep.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes.
I think those are just the consensus top 2. I would expect this to be the conference finals this year. If it's not, the 76ers really blew it. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, these have been the top teams in the East all year. They've consistently showed that they can win against top-tier talent, against top-tier competition, except Saturday when the most unmotivated Kevin Durant-led Nets just I don't
Well,
even want
that Kyrie ejection definitely didn't help him.
I watched that game.
Another ejection that was completely pointless.
I turned it off in the third quarter because it was just so
Let me
pitiful
just
to
say,
watch.
I watched that game. Haven't smiled that hard in so long. It's been a while.
Dude, we looked horrible.
You know what? I think I
We-
found
like,
another
we-
topic.
we
The
threw our
refs.
starters
We
out.
have to talk
Everyone-
about the problem with the refs. We have to. That'll be later though. That's
Yeah,
something that
for
has
sure.
to has to be talked about.
Everyone played except for Harden, and we looked like complete crap.
Yeah.
The best Laker player there was Dennis Schroeder. Then he got ejected, and we still lost by 25. Like how if I'm the Nets organization, I do not give my game check to Kevin Durant. I do not give my game check to Blake Griffin, and I do not give my game check to LaMarcus Aldridge. They played for free that night. That's what I'm saying. They don't get their goddamn game checks because the way they played was horrible. Back to what I was saying before my internet decided to take a shit, just like Kevin Durant did on the damn court Saturday night.
Look at that. Brought it right back around. Impressive.
There we go.
Yeah, no, they just looked very unmotivated. It was pathetic. Like I don't know how you were able to get paid after playing that game. It was Kevin Durant did not seem like he wanted to be there. He was not having fun. This is your job. Your job is supposed to put ball in basket, and you did not have fun doing it. Me as a fan, I'm not happy that you're not having fun playing basketball. It's annoying. Sucks.
Can I just chime in? I had a stellar Saturday night. It was a wonderful evening. I got, first of all, Had a few beers. It was nice. Got a nice buzz on. Secondly, watch the Nets get blown out by the AD-less, LeBron-less Lakers.
And Kuzma-less.
And yep,
Yeah, fucking Kuzma.
key puzzle piece right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a night to be remembered.
So, other than the Nets and the 76ers, past the Bucks, like from the fourth through eighth seeds are all within like 2 games of each other. It's an incredibly tight race, which makes this a little bit more interesting than the Western Conference because literally anybody could make it out and could not make it into the playoffs and make it into the playoffs.
Right. Well,
There is a very, very
seeing,
slim margin to who can and cannot make it.
well, what you're seeing right now is the Celtics are on a 5-1 in their last 6 games. They just beat the Nuggets, blew them off the floor.
Yep, 3-1 and to 3 run
At
in the
end of
fourth,
game. I mean,
which was
they're looking
incredibly
for
impressive.
honestly, their team defense last night, that if they play like that, they could honestly win 20 out of 25 games. I truly believe that. The way they played last night, because their whole problem this season has been their defense. They haven't been able to strap up and just stop the other team. And last night they looked really motivated. Like they were down by, I think, like 10 at one point.
Mhm.
They just decided, hey, we're not going to let them score again.
Not even 10. I think they were down by like a solid 15 to 17 points at one point.
At one point, but then
Yeah,
we got
and they
back
just
to,
started-
like,
they-
10 to
they
12.
started-
We were there for a while,
Mhm.
and then we just strapped up, and they couldn't do anything about it. And
I'm gonna say this. My 4 teams in the East: Nets and 76ers. Nets self-explanatory. Nets or 76ers self-explanatory. My next 2 teams are the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics.
That was actually gonna be mine. That was gonna be mine.
Let me tell you why I don't believe in the Bucks. Because if they have to face either the Heat or the Celtics in the first round, which is very possible, they do not match up well with either of those teams. Those teams are 3-and-D teams, and they have Jimmy Butler, who can lock up Giannis, and they have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who can slow down Giannis. Or the Celtics play very good team defense against the Bucks.
always, we do.
The Celtics always play very well against the Bucks.
That's
And then the
that's
Heat-
just the Celtics way. They don't have they're very team oriented.
Yeah, and I'm not.
You don't have
giving
any like
slack to
defensive
the
all stars.
Bucks.
You have
We have
everybody
Smart.
playing their part on defense, which
Yeah, we
all
have-
together works as a whole.
Yeah, we have Smart. But if we play as a whole, we're better than if everyone plays individually.
Mhm.
We're better when everyone's just, getting after it.
And I'm not giving any slack to the Bucks. Don't get me wrong; they're a great team, and they have a good team around Giannis that they could win a championship.
No.
But from what I've seen this year, they still can't beat Miami, and they still can't beat Boston. And those are 2 potential first-round teams that they could face. Now, if they get lucky and they face a team like the Hornets or the Knicks or the Hawks,
Right now, they're faced up against the Hornets, at least in the current
they're not
standings.
facing up against the Hornets. But that can change, like you said, because every team's in between 2 games.
Mhm.
And the Celtics are hot, but so are the Heat, and so are the Hawks. So I think the Celtics realistically can slide to that 6. Bucks, realistically should stay at the 3. I don't see them really moving. So if it's Bucks Celtics, Celtics are going to take that.
Yeah, I was literally gonna make this point. I'm very surprised that you agree with me because usually you're really high on the Bucks. Usually you love, Giannis is this. He's gonna take them home this year. I'm very surprised that you flipped your opinion on him. What changed that?
It's the way that they play against the Celtics and the Heat. It's not even been just this year. It was last year in the playoffs. It's been 2 years ago when the Celtics played them in the playoffs. It was
They lost 5-1
Since-
though.
since Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been on the Celtics, the Bucks have not figured out how to beat them.
Well, they
and-
beat them when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, like that, dumpster fire of a team. They beat them 4-1 in the second round in 2018.
Yeah, but you
I
were
mean,
also injured. You were very injured that year.
Well, yeah, we didn't really get to.
Gordon Hayward was out. Kyrie was
No,
being
Gordon
Kyrie.
was back that year.
He was back for game 3, 4, 5, something like that. Like it didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't back for the full thing.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy. He shouldn't have played. Kyrie was just being Kyrie. Jaylen Brown was still a young pup. So, like, I mean, he was. So that team was very different. But after that, after they traded Kyrie, I should have said that. After they traded Kyrie,
Yeah, I agree with this completely.
they haven't figured out how to beat the Celtics. And they're going to come across that problem again if it happens the first round. Now, let me say this. If the Bucks don't face the Celtics or the Heat in the playoffs, then they could go to the finals. But those are the only two teams I see them beating, or I could see beating them.
Yeah.
I think with the Nets, Giannis would just be too much of a problem. I saw it Saturday night with Dennis Schroeder eating up our interior defense like it was nothing.
Yeah,
And
with the
Dennis
Nets, the
Schroeder-
Nets just don't have the defense to contain Giannis and still contain Middleton shooting the three, and Drew running the floor.
Yeah, Drew's
Drew's
been
also
on
on
a roll.
fire.
He's been on a roll
Yeah.
recently. He's been absolutely killing it.
If Drew comes to do the playoffs like he's playing now, he's going to cook Kyrie. He's going to cook Harden. It doesn't matter who he puts on.
The Nets don't have enough defensive force to
and Middleton will just
handle
cook whoever
Giannis
else.
and then take care of the rest of everybody.
I don't think KD can keep up with Giannis defensively, too.
No,
I
not
think the
at all.
Bucks are a scary team for the Nets to face.
Mhm.
And then for the 76ers,
Sixers would take that. series.
that's a toss-up to me.
Yeah.
I still don't know. I don't have a determination. I think that could
Because
go
the
seven.
Sixers have Simmons, another fast, agile defender to put on Giannis. It'll be a good matchup, and I think he would be able to contain him, especially with Embiid in the paint.
But I
Because
feel
that's
like
what the
Brook
Nets are
Lopez-
lacking, big men.
Well,
That
Brook
Nets are
Lopez
lacking,
would
like,
be able to stretch the
young,
floor
fast big men.
with Brook Lopez would be able to stretch the floor with the Bucks, keeping Joel Embiid more outside of the paint. And if
Oh, right, yeah,
Embiid plays the paint, Giannis is going to trust Brook to make that shot, or Brook's going to pass it out to
Yeah, that's the only problem.
DiVincenzo,
Because Brook can
Holiday,
shoot.
Middleton. You know what I mean?
So
I
you're
feel
either way,
like-
you're going to have Embiid on Brook. You can't just leave
Right.
him in the paint or leave him open.
Yeah.
Like
That would be too many
Giannis,
3 points.
Giannis against the 76ers could average 20 and 15 all game, every game. And
Should
that's
be
how
averaging
they
30
would
and 15.
No, against the
Cool.
Sixers,
30
like in the
there you go.
playoff.
In the playoffs,
Yeah,
he should
well-
average 30 and 15. He's Giannis. That's what he does in the regular season.
Okay, so someone's a hater. Anyway.
I am a hater, but you know
But
what?
so that's my
You know what I
reason why
hate? No, no, no.
brought-
Let me finish. You know what I hate about Giannis? He can't bring him home. And we've had this discussion. He can't bring him home when it matters most. And you need a bucket. He can't get it. That's all I have to say about that. Now, I do agree with your list a lot. I will say, personally, my top 4 teams are the Sixers, Nets, Celtics, and I'd say either Heat or Bucks. That last one's a toss-up. Now, if they keep playing like the way they're playing, the Bucks do, and they keep running everything through Giannis, they're gonna lose to the Heat or the Celtics or anyone else in the East.
They need to spread out.
Anyone that's the top 4 that I said. But if they can give the ball to Middleton and say, instead of saying, all right, Giannis, we'll do your thing where you just drive and kick the whole game. And then when it comes down to the last 5 minutes and it's a 5-point game, then, all right, Middleton, go ahead, take over now. It's your turn. No, you can't do that. You need to get a guy into a rhythm. If they can get Middleton his touches, get Holiday his touches, which they have been doing recently. They've been doing the Holiday thing recently.
Well, Giannis has also been injured. He's been out 5 games.
Yeah, but also,
Well, I mean,
They're-
yeah,
and
when he
they're
comes
4-1.
yeah,
And they're 4-1 in those games. Just want to
Yeah.
point that out.
yeah. Well, when he comes back, if they could somehow integrate it where they're playing like they are now, where it's a lot of like ball movement and a lot of guys getting to cook. They're getting their shots up. They're getting their rhythm.
Because they
If
still
they
have
can
some
do
other
that-
good 3-point shooters coming off the bench too.
Right.
So
I
if they
mean,
can surround him with DiVincenzo, I think Lopez is still starting. So if they
yeah,
have
because
two more 3-point shooters,
yeah, because as of
around
right
them.
now, they don't play a playoff oriented style of basketball. When it gets slow, the pace shuts down, and they're not just running the break. This isn't the Lakers in the 80s. This is a completely different style of basketball. And if they can't get Middleton and Holiday their touches, like those 15 to 20 shots a game, where they're actually, cooking a guy one on one and getting their rhythm, then I don't see them winning, because then they're not going to be able to hit those shots down the stretch. So it all depends on that. But in spite of that, even if the Bucks do play like where they're letting Middleton and Holiday cook for the first 3 quarters as well, they're still not beating the Nets, and they're still not beating the Celtics.
All right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. The Bucks just have to. They just have a lot of stuff to figure out.
Well, for me,
They have
it's
they
just
have to iron
all
out a lot of stuff before the playoffs come, and
yeah.
they have to use film from their previous encounters to really decide what they want to run against each of these teams.
Now
Because they
I
can't
think
run the same thing against each of these teams. They're going to have to come up with a different plan for each team,
Yeah, that's
especially
their
like I'm like
problem.
based off of like who's on it.
On a second
now
thought,
here's the thing with the Bucks. Here's the thing with the Bucks. They're, for me, like I said, they can be a first round exit team, but they can also be an NBA Finals team.
Mhm.
For me, it's who they play, and I feel like if they get to the conference championship this year, especially if they beat a team like Philly or Brooklyn in the second round, I feel like with that momentum, Giannis is going to lead them over.
Yeah.
Because Giannis on fire is there's only two people right now in the NBA I would take than Giannis on fire, and that's LeBron on fire, and that's Kawhi Leonard on fire, and he doesn't have to worry about them.
Yeah. That's the magic of the East. All the superstars move west. And, well, I mean, this year,
dude,
a lot of the superstars moved east this time.
yeah, what are you
Well,
talking about? That's completely wrong.
That's like the magic of the East. Like
But so
there are a lot of
that's
you have a lot more opportunities to shine against lower teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I could see the Jazz losing to an 8th seed possibly, depending on who they get matched up against.
It depends, yeah.
Like, yeah, it depends. They could honestly lose to an 8 seed. You could see a 2 seed get upset by a 7 seed. We saw the Clippers go to 6 games last year, and they probably would have lost that series if KP was healthy. So it all depends. With the West, is all of those teams are very, very good.
Yeah.
The East, there's about 5 teams that are very good, and then there's some fringe good teams like the Hornets and the Knicks, and then the Hawks. I mean, yeah, like probably about 9 decent
They
teams.
were actually going to be my surprise team. I would not be surprised if the Hawks actually made a little bit of a playoff run.
What, like second round?
Yeah. Yeah, like at least a little bit of a playoff run, because their scoring is through the roof right now. Everybody on that team has been scoring beautifully.
well,
Yeah,
right now they're matched
And you
up
have
against
Clint
Miami.
at right? Yeah, I believe you have Clint at center, Clint Capella. You have Trey
Yeah.
Young, Danilo Gallinari,
Kevin Hurd.
Bogdanovich. They've all been
Kevin Hurd.
scoring amazingly
Kevin Hurd.
for quite a while now, especially since Trey Young had that 43-point night just a couple nights ago. Bogdan I think he just hit 8 threes last night. They've all been firing on all cylinders when it comes to scoring, and I think they'd be able to hang with the best when it came to like up tempo scoring. I think they were able to take much bigger teams than them by just plainly outscoring them throughout at least 3 quarters.
See, my thing
With
is,
their big men, you have
Yeah.
Clint Capella in the center. Danilo is
John
a very
Collins.
mobile defender. He's
John Collins.
pretty mobile and can contain the 3 and the 4.
yeah, he
I
reminds
think
me of.
there's a chance that they make at least a small playoff run.
So who would you see them upsetting?
Well,
I see
right
that-
now they're faced against Miami in the 5 seed, so it's a 4v5 matchup. I mean,
I see them like maybe going to like I think I see them staying at the 4 or 5 seed, and maybe the Hornets enter the 5 seed, and I see that matchup kind of going.
well, yeah, the Hawks' best case scenario would be facing the Hornets, especially without LaMelo Ball. I mean, we saw last night that the Hawks can withstand the Hornets, which I think without LaMelo Ball, a lot of these upper echelon teams that we've talked about can withstand the Hornets. Now, it's sad that LaMelo won't, or he could come back for the playoffs, can't he?
They called it out for the season. They're not gonna chance it, which is a smart thing to do. He's a rookie.
All right.
So it depends
So
if they
he's
even
not going to come
if
back
they
for the
keep
rest
it
of
up
the season.
to make it, because they're only 2 games above 500, so they can sink down. The Knicks can move up. The Pacers are 2 games below below 500. The Bulls have actually been playing pretty well. They haven't been able to win that much, but they've been playing pretty well offensively. So if they can
Yeah,
keep it
defensively,
going,
they still got to figure it out.
yeah. So if the Hornets go down, you might see a team that's below 500 enter the A seed.
Well,
And-
don't forget we still have the playing games. So
Yeah,
a team like the Bulls could still become the 8th seed.
yeah. You got Pacers are 2 below 500. Looks like the Bulls are about 4 or so.
Yeah.
Or is that? No, that's our way with 8. But they could come back up and, it could even out by the end of it. So again, that's the thing about the East. It's a much closer race than the West, and you never know. You could see a team below 500 make it all the way to the 4 seed.
Yeah. Well, no.
If stuff goes really wrong, I'm saying you could see that happen and go all the way up to a 4 seed.
No freaking way, dude. The way that like the Celtics and Heat are playing recently, no way.
Well, I know, but we also have the Hawks, the Knicks, the Hornets.
Yeah, those are good teams as well, but I think they're still a tier below the Celtics and Heat, Bucks, Sixers, Nets. They're a step below, in my opinion.
I think for me, the Knicks, Hawks, and Hornets are just young teams.
Yeah,
Because we've seen the playoff experience from the Celtics. We've seen the playoff experience from the Heat. That's why I can't count them out.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Hawks, Hornets, and Knicks, well, especially the Knicks, this is the first time they've been in the playoff picture since 2012. Hornets, 2016, and then the Hawks since they drafted Trae Young. So these are very young teams that are just looking to get playoff experience, which I think they all will get. I don't see the Pacers beating the Knicks or Celtics in the playing game as of right now, and I don't see the Bulls beating either of them either.
Well, do you think
So
the
I feel
Celtics
like-
are going to remain in the playing game? Do you think they're going to be a 7 or 8 seed?
I think I will. I hope they're not a 7 seed because then we have to face the Nets. And honestly, the Celtics could beat the Nets the way they're playing right now.
I mean, like you
So-
said with the Hornets, with LaMelo Ball out, they're only I think they're tied for a percentage right now. So I
Yeah,
think
I
within
mean,
one
even
game,
with
the Hornets
LaMelo Ball
Hornets
in-
move down and the Celtics move up.
Yeah, with LaMelo Ball in, they were the 4 seed,
Mm-hmm.
which that's very good. And I was kind of it was funny that you said the Hawks were your surprise could be your sneaky team. If LaMelo Ball was still in the Hornets, I think that would have been my sneaky team.
Like
to
they
make
could,
it
yeah,
work
they could have
playoffs.
upset someone. They could have definitely
Yeah.
upset
Because
someone.
they have a small ball lineup with
They
Miles
have so
Bridges
many-
playing power forward.
Yeah, they have
They
so
have-
many.
Yeah.
They have so many scores, though. That's
Mm-hmm.
my thing. They just have so many angles to attack. They got Hayward, they got Rozier, they got Ball, they got Graham, they got Washington can catch lobs. Like they just got a
Hayward's out by the way. Hayward's injured.
Really?
Yeah?
When did this? That was like a
Yeah.
week ago, though, wasn't it?
Nah, he's still out. He's out. I thought he was out like 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know. I don't know what the.
Like, I
injury
thought it was
but-
like a week. I thought he like sprained an ankle or something.
Maybe it was a week. I don't know. I thought it was longer. I expected Hayward to be out for a little bit.
Yeah,
he's
so,
still out. Yeah.
All right.
Either
So
way.
I'm gonna predict the Hornets are gonna drop, obviously, without Hayward and Ball. They're gonna drop.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna end up as the 4 or 5. I bet the Hornets end up in the play-in, and I bet the Hawks end up in the play-in. And I think you're gonna see a first-round matchup of probably like Heat Celtics or Heat Knicks or Celtics Knicks. One of those. I think the Knicks are the next best team after the Celtics and Heat. So
Yeah,
I
because
think
the Knicks, they're not my surprise team, but they were the surprise team of the year.
yeah, well, they're
I-
great defense.
I-
Great defense.
I'm very happy that I predict the Knicks were going to be good this year. I don't know if Alex remembers me saying this during winter break when I was back home, so like in December. But I remember I was talking up the Knicks and you were laughing. And you were saying, no, the Knicks aren't going to be good. I was like, no, I don't know. I mean, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly.
No
No,
one
you
thought
said
it.
Emmanuel Quickly before you even know who this undrafted guy was. You were talking about Emmanuel Quickly.
He was a late first round pick, bud. Late first round pick. Know your history.
He was trash. He was trash.
So-
He was.
Obi Top. I mean, granted, I thought
Obi
Obi
Toppin
Toppin
is trash. I'm
I
sorry.
thought Obi Toppin was going to win Rookie of the Year, but you know,
And
We can-
not
we can
anymore.
have
He's
some-
still playing decently, but
Yeah, like
No, no,
rookie
he
points.
plays-
type.
yeah, he plays good. Emmanuel Quickly, he's just been a stud for them
Yeah.
all year. I mean, he's the
I
next.
think-
You ready for this? You ready for this? You
Lou
ready
Will.
for this? He's the next Tony Parker.
Get out of here.
See ya. See ya.
I
See
wouldn't.
ya.
Well, Tony Parker wasn't that much. He wasn't. He was more of a passer than a scorer. And I
Yeah,
see
he
Emmanuel
was just-
quickly.
Well,
He's
the
a lot.
thing-
He's a lot better at scoring.
I think
He's
I
like
think
Lou Will to
Quickly is
me.
I think Quickly's going to become a passer because RJ Barrett is so proficient. Julius Randle is so proficient on the offensive side. Quickly, I think he's Tony Parker because he has that floater game, the floater game.
Is that what? So you
That's-
just say he has the floater. Then you don't say he's Tony Parker. That's a big leap saying he's Tony Parker. Completely different play style. The dude's like Lou Williams to
Well,
me.
he plays
I
very
I
good. defense.
definitely
Tony
agree with
Parker
you,
played
Alex.
very
I think
good
I see a lot of
defense.
Lou Williams. in
I
it.
see Lou Williams. I see a little bit of like Jeff Teague, like Jamal
Well, calm it
Crawford.
down. Calm it down. Emmanuel Quickly plays better defense than Lou will, and he plays better defense than Jeff T.
Like prime Jeff Teague, like Hawks 2015, 2014.
Yes,
Jeff Teague.
I think right now I would take Emmanuel Quickly's defense over that defense.
Okay, well you're crazy then. You just
I mean,
wrong. But
and
okay.
also RJ Barrett. I knew he was going to take a leap. He
Oh,
took
I
a
knew
huge
RJ
leap.
Barrett. I was a big believer in RJ Barrett.
Yeah, first year didn't go too well for him, but then it just took the sophomore year.
Yeah,
to,
I knew he was
elevate him.
gonna do something this year. I was like, I think Barrett's gonna be real. I said in the draft, I said he should have went first overall. Now,
Mm.
obviously, I was wrong. It should have been Zion, clearly.
So, what were you saying?
I said when Barrett was coming out, he should have went first in the draft because I saw a lot of like T-Mac, James Harden type comparisons. But then, like, I mean, Zion is Zion. So, because I didn't know if I didn't know if Zion could be like if he was going to be injury prone and stuff like that. Like, you don't know this stuff. What are you doing? Right.
Are you
Guy
insane?
was 285, 6'6",
You fu-
banging with the big man. You don't know if he's going to be injury prone, how his body's going to hold up, all this stuff. So I had a lot.
Actually, what people were making fun of, like how the Pelicans wanted to change the way he ran. It actually worked somewhat.
He
Like
didn't change.
he's
somewhat.
when
He
they
still
changed
waddles
his
in
like
the
like the way he ran, because he used to put a lot of weight on his feet, like very heavy steps. Now you've actually noticed like he's running, he looks quicker, a lot
Which
quicker.
is
now.
scary because he
It's
was already
sort of
quick.
his like his running pattern, and he's become a lot less injury prone because of it.
Yeah.
We were all laughing at that, but it actually makes sense now.
Yeah, the dude doesn't waddle down the court anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a mini waddle. He's like,
Mini waddle, yeah.
He's just such a big guy. He's just like, it's so funky how he runs, and it's just weird. And then you
But-
see him jump, and his head's at the backboard, and it's like, what do you do? Like, but
He's
I
a special
still-
talent.
yeah, I still think though RJ Barrett has the potential to be even better than Zion. I still think RJ Barrett has that potential. He has that potential to be like T Mac to me. Just the
I
way
don't
he's
hate that.
six,
I really don't hate that.
He
because
has
what I've
he
seen
has
from
that build. He has that
he's
T Mac
6'7".
build.
He could be like that point guard, like point
Yes.
forward type guy. And listen, those guys are the guys that take over the league.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I don't hate that. I honestly don't. I mean, RJ Barrett, he's a scorer. He's a bona fide scorer.
and he
we
could dish
saw
the ball
him-
out too. He could dish
We
it
saw
out.
him, I want to say it was either Saturday or Sunday's game. He hit the dagger to win the game. I want to say it was yesterday's game.
Yeah.
He hit the dagger. He took the shot. Not Julius Randle, not Emmanuel Quickly, not Alfred Payton, not Derrick Rose, not my boy D Rose. Nah, it was RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett he's slowly going to learn how to become the clutch guy on the team. And I don't say this year, potentially next year, depending on what they do in free agency. But I think 2 years from now, these Knicks, they're going to be a top 3 seed in the East. They're going to be competing with the 76ers and the Celtics, and potentially for an NBA Finals.
Yeah. All right. So
The NBA has been going through a different pandemic, and it's a pandemic of refs.
Gold digging whores. A
They're
real
all-
pandemic in this country.
All the refs are terrible. That's basically that's
yeah.
the gist. Technical fouls that make no sense. Passing the ball to a ref can get you a technical foul now, and it's getting out of hand. Just like last night, we saw 2 players arguing, and they both got a tech and were thrown out. It's getting out of hand with them just throwing out techs that make 0 sense.
Listen,
This causes people
Yeah.
to stop watching because their player gets thrown out. They're costing the league views, they're costing the league money, they're costing the teams money, and it's not good for the NBA. And NBA has yet to do anything about it.
let me just
Yet to
say,
change stuff.
yeah, let me just say, if a player deserves to be thrown out and it's a star, then you gotta throw him out. You can't treat other players differently. But that being said, they're giving out texts like it's nothing these days.
Yeah,
They're
like
just
I think it was
throwing
last
out.
year. It was either last year or this year. Jason Tatum bounced the ball into the air like 5 feet, and he got a
He got a
tech.
tech. Yeah, it was this
He
year.
bounced the ball and he got a tech. It's insane.
Yeah,
It's like I understand a Malice at the Palace incident where you're going into the crowd punching fans. All right, I understand that. You got to go after
Well,
that.
that's a
Greatest-
completely different
You
scenario.
got to go
That is
after
the-
that. But if you're
That is
passing
completely
the ball,
different from bouncing a ball.
Listen.
Ron Artest running 10 flights of stairs or whatever and punching the shit out of someone. Yeah, that's a little bit different than Jason Tatum
Listen.
bouncing a ball.
That
Just
was
a
the
little.
greatest. That was the greatest.
I think
Indiana
no, that's what I mean. I
sporting
think
event.
that's the level that you have to reach to like get like a suspension and thrown out of the game.
That was the
That's
greatest
why I'm
sports
comparing the
incident.
two. That's
Or
that's
what
the level
about-
you have to
yeah.
reach. If you
What
get
about
in a huge
last
fight,
week?
that's when you have to get kicked out.
That
What
was the
about
greatest
last-
sports event in Detroit since
It
their
was.
championship run in 03.
And they were all talking like it's a disgrace to fans. How like nobody wanted to see that.
No, that was
Everybody wanted to see that.
Awesome.
They were
was
waiting
awesome.
for that.
Dude, that you know how scared that guy must have been his whole life. He's an out of
He
shape,
punched the
probably
wrong guy.
eating
He
a
was
hot
just
dog,
standing there.
probably hammered. That dude's just out of shape, and this behemoth of a man, Ron Artest, this absolute dog of a human being, 240, 6'6", just brolic as all
A
hell.
5'10" white guy against a 6'6" NBA player.
Just absolutely lays him out. And he's sitting there, Lord have mercy. His prayers were not heard that day. That's all I have.
Artest was basically Francis Ngannou to that guy. He just
He basically
Demolished
just
him.
dismounted him. Just
And the guy that
demolished
accidentally got
him.
punched, I don't know why he didn't just move out of the way. He just stood there like, I didn't do anything. That wasn't me. And just stood
honestly,
back there
here's
no matter
what I propose to the NBA. I know it's never going to get passed, but like in a dream scenario, if a fan is chirping a player and the player goes
Hockey rules.
Stop.
Hockey rules. They both agree to a
Where's this
fight.
going?
No,
and then
if the
whoever
player
wins.
I
goes
see where this is going.
player listen. Player goes, this player can stop the game, say, ref, this guy's chirping at me. 1v1. If he scores on me, I'll leave the game. if I score on him, he gets ejected from the game.
You have
How
no
much
idea
entertainment would that
how
go
much
in?
I'd want to watch
Think about
that.
the entertainment that goes
better-
in.
It's
I
like a
have a better
halftime
idea.
show in like the first quarter.
Exactly. Exactly.
Listen, I have a better idea. Fan is chirping a guy.
Fight night.
All right. He's been chirping him all day. The guy goes, "Hey, I don't like the look of this guy." Hey, Cage drops down from the jump.
I didn't know there was hell in the cell.
Cage.
He threw him off the
drops
cage.
down- Listen,
He
Cage
threw him
So then
off the
Bruce Buffer
cage.
gets on the mic.
UFC.
This
Octagon.
is your main event.
What's up? Cage, Octagon, drops down from the Jumbotron. Center court. Bang. Right there. you, fight! And it's the fan against the absolute superhuman talent in the NBA. And that's that.
You
Lights
never
go
know what
down.
fan it is. Ends up being
Dude,
like a
the lights-
6'6",
The lights go
200-pound
down.
guy. Like it's a fan.
Spotlight. There's
Against
just
the
a
point guard, like,
spotlight
oh,
on the
okay.
fan. You are the lucky winner of getting your ass whooped today. And then they have to walk him down. Like they're like trying to struggle to not go in.
They walk him down like the
Everybody's
Price
just
is
throwing
Right.
him in. They're just roughing him up. They're just throwing him in the cage.
It's like a
He's,
backstage
fighting
cam at
with
the
everything.
WWE where it just show two players beating him up in the locker room. It's just
And then
Dude, they
then
walk him
lights
down
go
like the Price is Right, and then for the NBA player, they just play the Goldberg music, and he just crashes through the door and he goes, "Let's do it."
And both the teams get to watch.
Or the Undertaker music comes on, and he just
the room
appears
goes
in the
dark and
ring.
you start hearing bells. And there's a spotlight on the heckler.
Yeah. and
Purple
it's just
smoke
this-
comes from everywhere.
See-
Oh, that would be.
Oh
We should
my
be on the
God.
NBA marketing team.
That
That's
would
all
be
I'm saying.
amazing.
That's all I'm saying.
People like us are what changed the game in better ways.
Okay, but if I gotta be honest about the refs though, it's
Cage.
the NBA.
Just
The
imagine.
NBA's
though.
been
Just
soft.
imagine. Just imagine a cage though, dropping down from the jumbotron like this in center court.
this
So
is
you
an
got like
octagon.
your
Bruce
you got
Bruce
your center
Buffer just
logo.
walks in.
You got
This
your
is
center
your
logo,
main
and there's just
event.
and there's just
McMahon
and
just-
Bruce Buffer comes out of nowhere. This is your main
Vince
event
McMahon.
of the evening.
Vince McMahon.
They have to get a lot.
Walking
of
down,
announcers for that.
coming to announce it.
Oh man, the collaboration that we can do with the WWE.
Oh
and
my
NXT,
God, we'd
That would
make
be-
millions.
It's all there. It's all there.
That
But
would be wonderful.
That's it. We have to make our own league.
what are we gonna call it?
I don't know. The
The no fucks given league.
The
NFG.
NWWEA.
NWWEA. The NBFN, the MBFN, the NBA
N-
fight,
the
night, or
NWWF.
National Basketball Fight Night.
We could call it the
Basketball
NBCA
fight.
and then not pay our players.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the AAF?
No, I said we could call them the NBCA and then just not pay the players. because it's
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Free league for all.
Yeah.
And we just like
I like
hold it in a parking lot of a Denny's every month.
I think this cage idea though, I think I'm going somewhere. I think
Yeah.
I'm onto something.
But okay, so
Yeah,
the
but
real
it's all
problem
yeah, in
with
all
refs,
seriousness about him.
All right, yeah.
the real problem with refs is that the NBA has gotten soft, and the NBA getting soft has made the refs become softer. And so now everything's a foul for them, which is it's kind of
They take
disgusting
everything
that that
personally.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take everything.
How dare
personal,
you do
dude.
this? You're out.
But I don't completely blame the refs 100% because the NBA is making all these rules where the player gets tapped on the shoulder and all of a sudden it's a flagrant 2 and you're out of there.
Yeah.
like-
A stare down will get you ejected now.
Did you see
Like
that?
there's certain stuff that like you shouldn't get attacked for like you said, bouncing the ball or like staring at a ref for a bad call. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't get attacked.
I mean,
That's
back
just
in-
him being a dickhead at that point.
Listen, back
But
in
like-
the 90s, back in the 90s, you'd throw elbows and you're beating the shit out of this guy. This guy's on the ground, and they'd be like, all right, guys.
I remember there's like a video
Look
from
at-
the
look at
early
the
80s
other
break
week
up the
where like the
scuffle. Guys
refs
are, like,
almost like
literally-
ref the fight.
I
They
watched
didn't get in there.
Bird-
They're like
I
like
watched
like
a video.
they
of
were like a
Larry Bird
wrestling ref. They were just
Yeah.
watching it like oh
I just watched
The other week they
video.
showed a replay of
Listen.
Shaq dunking on I think it was Bill Lambier.
Yes.
No,
And he
it
just
was
like
the guy from
absolutely
the-
threw him into the
The guy from the
stands with
Knicks.
his legs.
I forgot his name.
No, it
and
was-
he pushes him, and they didn't.
Dave
they,
DiVucci. No, it wasn't Dave.
No.
I forgot who it
They called
was.
they called the
But-
attack on the guy who got dunked on because he
Yeah.
threw the ball at Shaq.
Because he threw the
dropped
ball.
the ball at him.
That's what we miss.
That's basketball. I
This
want
is what I'm
Because
this is
like,
what I'm
Ron
saying.
like I said,
Clothesline
every time this
someone?
happens, like I'm like a fight breaks out or something, they always say how like the fans don't want to see this. This is
Yeah.
the stuff that we look forward to. Why do you
Yes.
think hockey has so many viewers?
Yes,
Because people like to watch the fights.
people love fighting. It's just a natural human thing. It's the oldest sport in the history of man is fighting.
Why do you think the Romans did it?
This is no, that's
All right.
I'm not at all. for
That's a
that.
whole different conversation that
Let
we've
me
been
just-
having.
let me
That's
just-
a whole
I'm
different.
not at all for that. but,
Apparently, my only knowledge on the Roman Empire is from Gladiator.
yeah, no, pretty much, yeah. Aren't we all like that though?
Get all your information from 300.
Yeah.
Listen. All I'm saying is that if that guy from Gladiator wasn't such a pussy, then Caesar would have made him the damn thing, and then he didn't have to fight Crow for it. He didn't have to fucking banish him. And then, anyway, this is a sports podcast. We're not
Yeah,
talking about
What are we talking about?
Thanks for coming to our 300 movie review.
Yeah. So, in all seriousness,
Sure.
it's not going to change because the play has gotten soft. The fouls that they're calling.
There's a
fouls-
big outcry for it too.
You watch Trae
Fans
Young
all
play,
over the place
I
are saying
can't
we
stand
don't want to
watching-
see stuff like this, and they just
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Listen, if you want to know that
Well-
basketball's changed, watch Trae Young play. Just watch him. He does nothing and gets fouled. He literally does nothing. Like someone will have their hands up and he'll pull up, go like this, and it's a foul. I can't stand watching Trae Young play. I can't.
You
And
know it's a
all-
problem when there are more like tech and foul calls in the NBA than there was in the women's tournament of the NCAA. There were huge, especially in the championship. No, not the championship game. The it was the championship game or the Final Four. There was a huge blown call, and even in the
that was
NBA,
Elite Eight.
one
That was
if
the
there was
Elite
even
Eight.
a
Are
hit
you
in the
talking
face
about the
with an arm,
Baylor UConn?
there wouldn't have been
call?
there would have been a flagrant.
Are you talking about the Baylor UConn call?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
she got
No,
smothered.
okay,
She
so
got
that wasn't a
tackled.
blown call. No. Let me tell you something.
You don't
James.
think?
If you watched the game like a true UConn fan, that you would have saw that they were letting them play the whole game. So that was a right. First of all, she jumped straight up. So
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
did.
a
I did
foul.
see that. I did see that. There were a lot of
She
them.
jumped straight up, and
there
they
were a
were
lot
letting
of,
them play
like,
the whole game
missed calls in
anyway.
there.
So that's fine.
They let them play.
If people who complain are people who follow LeBron, and LeBron complained. LeBron saw the call. He's just a hater of UConn because he hates winning championships.
That's
Ooh.
correct, Ryan. LeBron hates winning championships. That's
Hey, all I'm saying he's 4-6. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. My goat doesn't get swept in the finals, and that's where we're gonna end it.
all right. Well,
All right. So thank you
Yeah.
for watching. There goes your Cabela hat. Thank you for watching the FGs and Threes podcast number 6. This was honestly the best ending we've had yet. This was a
this is
great
probably-
conversation.
Yeah, I love the cage idea. Hopefully the NBA, listen to us. I won't charge you. I just hire me to your marketing team. That's all I ask.
The Ed Crouch interview is up now. Has been, I think, for a week now, so you can go and watch that. And coming up, we actually have an interview with FCF wide receiver and North Dakota University wide receiver Travis Toivonen. So keep an eye out for that coming very
that's
soon.
a really good one.
It's a great, we had a great time with him,
Great time.
and
doing
we
that.
hope you enjoy it. So thank you so much for watching episode number 6. We appreciate it. Once again, I'm Jaden Rogers, Ryan Martell, Alex Martell. Thank you for watching.
Take it
See
easy,
ya.
everyone.